values education, ethics, and reflective practices. Mr. Angelo B. Mallari is deeply committed to human formation for the Educator TCC challenge. He proposes the AI Call Intelligence plugin, an innovative tool designed to address the passive use of AI. The plugin transforms AI from an answer generator into a reflective partner by prompting students with dialogue and self-assessment questions before, during, and after their interaction with AI tools. This project directly embodies his belief that technology must enhance, not replace, uniquely human capacities like critical thinking and ethical judgment. Enhance, not replace. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Angelo Mallari from the Philippines.
Good evening, everyone. So as we are waiting for the presentation here, I would like to thank the Pythaverse for this opportunity for the TCC Summit. It was really enlightening and really a good experience for all educators to learn from each other. And hopefully the sharing that I'll be having for today will not only help future educators, but also our students as well. I'll begin my presentation with a question. On the onset of AI, how many of us are very excited? There's one, that's good. How many of us felt anxious? Almost all of us are there. I myself was anxious, very anxious at the beginning of AI. And when I tried it out, I was a bit hesitant because it might replace me. It might also bring about the other challenges like that of cheating, plagiarism, and even making things easy without learning. And this is a reality that I have experienced, and I have as I dialogue with other educators and attending different conferences about AI. This is something that was really evident in those conversations. And this particular reality, I've seen it firsthand with my own students. Some of them have become very reliant and over-dependent in AI use, to the point that they will make their assignments, AI will do their assignments for them and not them anymore. And even other tasks at hand. They become passive users, more of just copying and pasting things rather than really thinking about thinking. At the same time, there are even students who have utilized AI without even acknowledging it. Just copying and pasting, and even worse, not being critical about what AI is giving. The shortcuts, the quick responses to be an instant response without learning. And sadly, it felt that for me, as I sensed with my students, they become less independent learners, thinkers. And the reality is that AI is here to stay. AI will further develop. And so what teachers can do? There's a challenge for us to shift how we respond to AI. Two ways that I've seen that educators have been doing is the shift in approach to teaching and learning. There's a move now to revisit teaching pedagogies, methodologies, strategies on how they will be able to integrate AI more. There's also some teachers who are already looking into the traditional teaching versus a more interactive, engaging teaching. At the same time, there is a call for us to move from just the product, the knowledge, to the process, to focus more on the process. More on not just applying the knowledge, but at the same time, enabling, really, learning. And then, of course, there is a call to shift from our perspective to AI. I like how Father Johnny, one of esteemed educators in the Philippines, have coined how educators are called to address this particular perspective. He used the term measured enthusiasm, exploring the possibility of AI, but also be mindful of the challenges and the risks. At the same time, there is a call for us to look at AI not just an instrument, but an agent where we can collaborate. Not just someone that we can just fully ignore. And many teachers have felt that they don't want to use AI anymore because they don't know how to use it or they're threatened by it. At the same time, there are certain people who just see it as a tool. And so I try to investigate and see how we can further see the collaboration. I chanced upon this particular book, also in the discussions of Professor Ethan Mollick of Wharton University, as he coined the term co-intelligence, the ability of humans and AI to work together effectively, leveraging the strength of each to achieve outcomes that neither could accomplish alone. And from that, I was struck. What else can we do? Of course, we know that we can use AI to enhance critical thinking. We know that AI, if it used properly, can amplify human capacities and capabilities. But what else can we do for our teachers, for our students? And so I chanced upon this particular question in mind. How can AI support teachers in education? Directly support them in education. So this is my thesis question, or my problem question. How can AI help humans like teachers in strengthening AI's ethical and responsible use and highlight human capacities vis-a-vis the AI use? And so I chanced upon and coined this particular term, AI, coined as plug-in, where this particular application, this particular plug-in, will be of help to teachers and students alike to not just to have the AI to answer what they want, but for it to be a reflective partner together with them as they answer, as they search for what they wanted to learn. It's a self-assessment and reflection from the beginning, during, and even after the AI instruction. Of course, the very challenging thing here is that it can create tension, it can create certain friction because there are additional steps. But I think that's one of the challenges that hopefully we are very open as educators, and hopefully we can translate that to our students, that this is important in order for them to think critically, to reflect more, and to have that ethical judgment. This is a sample that I did because I'm not, I don't know how to code literally. So I asked help from AI itself. So this is what was generated by Canva AI for me, prompting with what I wanted. A while ago, I wasn't able to add it here, but I also asked Gemini to do the same. And in this particular, there are different steps. Before just asking a particular question, the students will undergo this particular process as they go through that. And hopefully that will help in the development of critical thinking, ethical judgment, not just for them to have the easy answer. So I know for a fact that it's still very challenging. AI use is still very challenging. So I think this particular conference, particular summit, is a way for us to continue to explore, interact, and experiment with AI. Because the reality is that AI is here to stay. So we have to invite AI to help us and collaborate with it. Identify what AI can automate, because AI is good at automating things. But also what AI can augment, which means it's not just the AI, but it's also the human. What can the human bring to the table? At the same time, what human competencies should be developed and enhanced by the humans themselves in this particular process. Critical thinking, reflection, and even ethical judgment. And to end my presentation, what drives me to this particular one thing is this one. This is always my takeaway for my students. At the end of the day, I hope both students and both of us, even teachers and all those who are using AI, will not give up on being human in this day.
Yeah, I actually do not have questions. I really like the presentation. Okay. I like the idea that we're embracing there's AI, even if we're anxious about it, and that you're humanizing things, and making sure that you make use of all of these ethical use nudges, focus on capacities, focus. You're really trying to arrest it. In other words, you don't want AI to get away with murder, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
You've not tested this yet.
Not yet.
So what do you think are your biggest obstacles from the actual development to the pilot to the actual utilization of this plugin?
For the challenges, I believe, of course, with the simulation that I have done so far, it seems that it will be very tedious for students, and for them, it might not be something that they would like to embrace. And sadly, of course, for companies who are creating AI, it can be not good for business, because if no one is using it, they will not be utilized. But at the same time, I think if we're able to really show the importance of being human in this day and age, I hope I'll be able to invite people, the government, even institutions, to rally in this particular cause. It's a very challenging thing, I believe, because it is something that may not be able to embraced by all because of certain parameters, business, the usage of it. But I think that's where refinement, evaluation, on how we can further improve that. Because I've seen how students are using actually AI, like they're talking to their companion, to their teaching, to their learning, and even outside learning. So I hope when we rally, I hope I'll be able to rally with educators, and I think this is a good platform to begin that particular journey. And if we see the value of humanity in this state of AI, I hope that will bring about the change that I wish to have for us all of us.
And I'm always reminded by what we always said before now when we teach science, technology, and society. The technology is neither good nor bad. It's really how it is utilized, right? But our problem with AI is that it seemingly has a life of its own. Do you think that way? Is that why you think that you're trying to put in all of these additional measures just so it will not, as I said, be uncontrollable?
In a way, yes, because the future of AI is still something that we don't know. There is that the idea of generative AI that it can think on its own. But the hope is that as we train our students, as we train ourselves to become more human, we will see to it that the use of AI will be really very intentional to not to replace humans, but to enhance more our capacity.
Okay, Angelo. I really like the idea of this plugin. So it sounded easy to access, and they will just use the thing they're very familiar with. So it's a good idea. And I'm really interested when you say that you want to transform AI from the answer generator into a collaborative partner. When you mentioned the example just now, the students talking to AI, a bit worried. So they're talking to AI. We were talking about being human. So there's like a confusion, especially for the young ones.
Yes.
So we want them to be human, communicate, collaborate, and discuss with other humans, probably at getting some help from the AI. So we don't want to create a situation whereby, okay, bye-bye, you're not going to talk to you anymore. AI is like a good friend.
Yes.
So how do you handle this?
I think this is one of the efforts of a starting point. Of course, we can always invite AI as a collaborator, not just like dialogue, but even there are already some move in education where AI is now part of a particular group. At the same time, of course, there are still certain skills that I think we can use and utilize and really develop even without AI. And I think that's also something that we have not to let go. We should not let go of that. Because if we just let AI do everything, then that will be really the direction of that. So we use AI as a partner, but at the same time, we have to have our own way of discussion. Because I believe, like, for example, the dialogue part, asking students to dialogue without AI is a very beautiful thing. And I hope we can continue to develop that. So it's really more of a partnership. It should not replace everything that we do in education, but it should only enhance that particular one.
The last question. I like your genuine feeling. You saw a strong understanding of the challenges teacher to student face with the AI in school. Your idea to create a plugin that encourages students to reflect and use AI responsible is creative and meaningful. I have one question. Your proposal suggests using AI to guide on towards the ethical use of another AI. How do you ensure that this AI guiding AI approach does not introduce new bias or restrict student? Freedom to think is independently. In Indonesia, we call this a case is jeruk makan jeruk or orange eating another orange. AI control AI.
I think the efforts, for example, of Pythaverse to create the summit itself and how we will be able to create our own proposal is really a good way to look into that particular framework, because we don't just let AI decide on it. We humans enter into the picture where we reflect critically, judge critically what AI have given. And I think hopefully the reflection part, as it progressed, what AI have been giving, the humans is also capable of reflecting if it's really correct. And I think that's where the ethical use of AI for humans will start, to evaluate what really
AI control
there's a possibility that it will happen. That's why I hope that humans, as we equip them to become more critical, they'll be able to really see how this particular action might be prevented, or at least in a way we're ready that to address that particular concern. But that's a possibility, because the development of AI in this day and age has been so rapid that sometimes it's very difficult to keep up already. So that's why it's always good to equip humans with the capacity to be critical, to be reflective, and to be ethical in their judgment in the use of it.